Hello everyone out there on YouTube. I'm going to be your reader for today, Quintari Shakir. I'm the host of the Secret Services here on Black Spectrum Network. Please like this video, thumbs up, thumbs down, doesn't matter. Please give me a comment, good or bad, doesn't matter. Please subscribe to my video, and if you have not subscribed to my video at this time, please let me know why you've not subscribed to my video and what it is that I need to provide to you in order to compel you to subscribe. Now, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get right into the reading about Bishop Eddie Long. This is a test run reading. Test run readings mean that I'm going to answer a couple of questions about this particular celebrity that I have, but I want you all to send in the questions that you have as well, if you are interested in this particular celebrity. So, as usual, I'm going to start with the personality reading of Eddie Long. I'm going to do to see, like, what was his personality like before he died. Whoops. Eddie Long was a seeker of knowledge, truth, and wisdom. But he found it very difficult to commit to his spiritual walk and the things that he believed in. So I think that he wavered back and forth between what he was preaching versus what he was believing, but he was committed to ministering to people. They're also describing him as someone that was very, very intuitive with his sermons. So I think that there was some planning that there was some planning and organizing that he would perform prior to his sermons, but a large part of his ability to craft these moving messages to his massive audience, it all came off the dome. And he was very, very creative with translating spiritual doctrine to people. They're also describing him as a liberator. And as usual, the liberator card always talks about someone that can help other people master themselves. So he was an expert counselor, able to draw out hidden talents within people and able to illuminate their life path for them. They're also saying that Eddie Long was very, very charming because of his stature and his status and his star power in his church. That was romantically alluring to a lot of people. He was an educator to the masses at his church, a teacher of worldly knowledge, a teacher of scholarly. He was very scholarly in how he approached religion, the study of religion, and his teachings and sermons. Now, with that being said, I didn't go to Bishop Eddie Long's church. I don't know anything about Eddie Long. So in addition to that, I'm seeing him being a pioneer within the religious industry. So a lot of the things that he did during his time were actually legacy. Like he built a legacy with a lot of the things that he did. I'm hearing like in the 90s and in the 2000s that within the church community, a lot of people looked at him as a sort of leader that was really pushing the boundaries for what Christianity should look like. And I think that he brought some entertaining aspects to entertaining elements to his ministry that other congregations or denominations may have mimicked. And very much finally, he was a writer. So he took tons and tons of notes, very, very detailed notes about scripture, very detailed notes about conversations that he would have with people. He journaled a lot. And I'm hearing that deep within his writings, he may not have spent very much time talking about his personal problems, but he did talk a lot about his spiritual insights, and he theorized spiritually a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna do a very quick oracle card shuffle on Eddie Long to see what was going on with him prior to his death. They said Eddie Long died of cancer. There have been other people that dispute those claims that it was cancer. They think that it was another disease that he was affected by. If you think that Bishop Eddie Long died because of cancer, please let me know in my comments. And if you think he died because of some other reason, please let me know what you think that reason was. So the cards are speaking about a health condition that needs medicine that he wasn't taking. His challenge or obstacle at that time was that he was still committed to growing his ministry, growing his industry, and pretending as though his medical condition wasn't affecting him. They were saying that he was very passionate about increasing his oratory skills, and he was trying to pray away this spiritual this physical illness beneath him. I'm saying that he wasn't taking advantage of God's timing and procrastinating with taking care of his health. To the left of him, I'm saying that he was needing to start a project at his church, or a business at his church that was involving children. So I think that at the time he may have been trying to bolster the productivity and the effectiveness of his children's ministry. If not that, he was working on a community service project involving children or young adolescents. Above him, I'm saying that there was chaos at home and at work. So within his church, there was tons and tons of drama at the higher levels, and then there was also chaos at home as well. I'm hearing it as his wife, he and his wife had been fighting with each other, but his illness, because he was becoming ill, she had to let a lot of those battles go. And finally, I'm seeing him repeatedly returning back to his marriage, repeatedly returning back to those negative people at his church. And he had a lot of trouble adapting to and this is what they're telling me, he had a lot of trouble adapting to the ways in which his image had been tarnished in his church, that a lot of people that had been attending his church were doing it just to see it crumble and see it fall still. But there were some people that were still loyal to him, there were some people that were still loyal to him despite all of the allegations being launched against him. However, I'm hearing it as about 30 to 40% of the people that were attending his church during that scandal were doing so simply because they were trying to figure out, what's really going on. So the first question that I'm going to ask is obviously, was there any truth to the allegations that were launched against him from a group of men that said that he had sex with them? And these guys were in high school. Again, I live in Georgia, so the age of consent in Georgia is 16. The reason I keep saying this is because I'm hoping that a politician can change that, limit, the age limit for what's considered consensual sex. With that being said, I think that some of these guys were underage, but it wasn't illegal, those sorts of allegations, and they were saying that he was paying some of these men to remain silent. So I want to investigate to see if that was true. So I'm going to look and see first if those allegations were true and how it was that they played out. And second, I'm going to pull cards specifically concerning why it was that he died and what it was that they tried to do about it. Okay, and once I'm done with that, I'm going to close out the reading, and I hope that you all have questions that you all would like for me to answer. Okay, so were those allegations true? So I'm seeing Bishop Eddie Long is very, very emotional about this. He was very emotional about this situation, very emotional towards these young men. He wanted his sexuality to remain largely invisible, but I am saying that he did a lot of things in the dark. His wife was also very, very, his wife chased down a lot, so Eddie Long had not only been sleeping with men, he had, not men, I haven't even gotten that far. Eddie Long had been sleeping with other women. So it's kind of like, not so much well known, but it was kind of like pretty hush-hush. That there were maybe one or two women that he had a sort of close relationship to on the low. I'm hearing that these women weren't underage, but these women were younger than him, and his wife was preoccupied dealing with those women and suspicious of them. However, Yeah, his wife was very much preoccupied with taking care of him and defending her marriage from rival women, to where she was distracted, so distracted that she probably couldn't see or understand the fact that he had been with other men. I think she was kind of accepting that he had been with other women that was acceptable for him, but she just didn't know how to process it. But there was a significant change. It was kind of like at a certain point she said, no more of this, no more of what's going on, so on and so forth. And I think that Eddie Long had been kind of sort of, not even kind of sort of struggling, but very much struggling with his sexuality. And when that avenue with the women was shut down, let's see what happens. Yeah, I think that, yeah, he struggled with his sexual orientation. He kept these men locked away. He kept, they were silent and silenced. And there was always an internal struggle, an internal battle with him and his highest self over his sexual orientation. I think that he was actually bisexual, because I'm seeing men and women in these cards, but very much largely I'm thinking it's like he had a lot of encounters with women, not so many with men. What the cards are still showing me is, yeah, very much lots and lots of women, a man, a young boy every once in a while, but mostly older women that were more established in the church, very spiritual women. And I'm seeing it as, what they're telling me is that this internal struggle with his sexuality largely led him to being infidelitous with women, to a lesser degree with men where he wouldn't act on it. Nevertheless, it was always a bullet to his wife's heart. And I think that his wife had actually been threatening some of those women in the past. I'm hearing it as, kind of like, if you don't put them in check, I'm going to have to do this. But she was really angry. I think over time she has grown to be, but this is what they're telling me, over time she's grown to become more calm and more patient, simply because spirit has worked on her. But a lot of her turmoil and anguish was caused because he had been cheating on her with women. As far as his any diseases that he was dealing with, it was stress due to his marriage, a death in the family, and then there was I don't think that he died from cancer. I think it was something that something that caused for his death, and it's definitely not cancer, because what they're telling me from these cards are that on one avenue, it was his marriage crumbling and failing that was causing his health to deteriorate. There was a death in his family that was important to him that was causing his health to deteriorate. In addition to that, I think that at some points he may have been suicidal, or he may have been in denial about a disease that he had contracted that he didn't want to take medicine for. But I'm seeing that the spotlight was never on him. Kind of like after these allegations came out, the church no longer focused on him as a sinner. They kind of started trying to make moves to promoting other ministers and doing other high profile events he was the face of the church, and they were trying to take him. They were trying to redirect everyone's attention away from him as the face of the church to someone else. Okay, I'm saying that there was this power struggle over the church. In the tower, everything came crashing down. For him, the people in his organization were and this is very private, but they were trying to do a mutiny against him. Kind of like there was too much going on in the marriage, too much back and forth with whether our first lady's going to stay with our pastor. And finally, I'm seeing him, I'm saying Eddie Long very much like bedridden, tied to his, bedridden, can't leave his home, can't go for people. He literally couldn't just go to church. It was like he was in such denial about him being sick that he just spent a lot of time at home praying it away, and people would come and visit him and pray with him. But I don't think that he died because of cancer per se, because I'm thinking if it was cancer, he would have been in the hospital a little bit longer than what it was. But anyway, that's my reading on Bishop Eddie Long. It's a very quick reading. I hope that you all enjoyed it. Please like, share, and subscribe to this video. Also, make sure that you all are tuned in on Friday. So new videos are coming out Friday. Yes, on Friday, I'm going to have new videos coming out at 12 p.m. And on Tuesday, I've got new videos coming out at 12 p.m. So every Tuesday and Friday, expect on this channel, new psychic readings will come out at 12 p.m. And every once in a while, I'm going to surprise you with random psychic readings like now. Okay, so now we're on schedule. As of now, Fridays at 12. Put it in your calendar, put it on your phone, like, share, subscribe to this video. And Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, thank you all for tuning in. I'm your host, Queen Shakir. Quintari Shakir, whatever you want to call me. Go to www.blackspectrumnetwork.com and purchase a private psychic reading. Oh, wait, before I go, I want to read one time from my spirit board. Okay, what do you all have to say about Bishop Eddie Long? It says he is definitely, it says, taking this reading to heart. It says at this time, it says his energy wants to, it says be, it says allow to rest. It says without people prying into his business. It says in the afterlife, period. It says to better understand his desires. It says a criminal will always want an attorney to, it says help, it says change, no, it says control, it says the narrative, period. I hope that makes sense to everyone. All right, I'll see you all later. Bye.
I just wanna fly away. First class out of space.